Welcome back to Inspired by Chaos, the podcast where we usually dive deep into the wild, rewarding world of special education. But today we are going to pull back the curtain on our own lives and tell you a little bit why we have been away, not only from the podcast, but also from work. Jordan and I both took extended leaves of absence this year. Neither were technically planned, I guess.
Nope.
So anyways, I'm Sophie.
I'm Jordan.
And we just want to acknowledge the hiatus and thank you so much for your patience, for still sticking around, for still following us. And if this is your first episode with us, this is a tough one to join. Yeah. You'll get to know us really well and our personalities, but I think it's going to be a emotional episode, probably. We do have our new little chaos crew member with us. She's just offset over here, hopefully snoozing, but we may have to take a break or two if you hear a little squawk.
Yeah.
So for today's episode, we're going to be doing our life updates. We're going to do a little bit of behind the scenes, what is next for the podcast, and then a listener Q&A. But first of all, let's go over why we took a break. So Jordan is going to talk a little bit about her reason why she went on a break in her last couple months and what that's been like for her.
Okay, so I actually took a couple little leaves throughout the year during my pregnancy. I think we had talked about it before. My first trimester was awful. So I definitely had to take some time off of there so I could get it together, and then returned. And then near the end, it just got really rough. And I have never, for any of my pregnancies, needed to take work off early. It's never happened before.
You went right up to your due date.
Right? Every other one. Yeah. Whereas this one, I was having a really hard time. I also do acknowledge that and I put this out there because it's not something my body's used to. And because I have Charcot-Marie tooth disease, my weight being as high as it was this time definitely took a toll on my body. So I found I was tripping more and we did have some pretty big behaviors in our class that I had to be I guess aware of, and normally
just
I'm
more mindful.
Yeah. And I normally don't. And I'm it's fine. But I was getting a few little hits, not little, big hits, in the belly and stuff like that. And so I definitely I started to be aware of where I needed to be and stuff like that in the classroom, which was fine. But I also didn't have Soph at that time, which we will get into. Yeah. So that was hard for me too, because I didn't have my safe partner that I knew would jump in, and I knew how to support me because we work so well together and we just support each other so well. So being by myself and being with supplies, I'm not putting down a supply at all.
It's hard to jump into the position though.
It is. And especially if you don't normally work with such big behaviors, that can be a lot to know what to do or know how to support or step in. So it just became a lot near the end of my pregnancy. And I ended up needing to take time off at the end of the year. I think my leave was at the end, probably a month and a half ish. So I ended up going off a month and a half before I had the baby. Well, before summer. No, before I had the baby.
Yeah. I think she was born a week and a half before we actually officially finished school.
Yeah. So I did that. It was hard to make the decision to do it, but once I was off, I was definitely happy I did it.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I thought I'd be really emotional and upset being off and missing out. And I did. There was things I was sad I was missing out on, especially grad, but that was a whole other thing that was out of my control because the baby was already here. So that was my leave.
Do you want to tell us a bit about your birth story, how that went? Because this is number 4 and it's 4 and done.
Yes.
This is your last baby.
Yes. So with my third, I said I was done, but I didn't do anything to make sure it was done. So this one for sure is done. There's no more babies coming out of me. But honestly, my birth story, I think, is kind of amazing. There was a little rough patch, just because when I went in for my C-section, so I went in early to get antibiotics because it's something I needed based on an issue with my third baby, which I'll save that story for another day. But I went in for my C-section and went to get my spinal tap, and they they couldn't insert it. I don't know. They said it kept veering off to the side. They think scar tissue. So I was getting these like jolting pains down my left leg, and like I couldn't help my body like jump, but it was because the needle kept like veering off. It was very weird. So they had to insert it, I want to say 10-ish times. And it just wasn't working. And I did start to panic a little bit. I'm not going to lie. My OB is phenomenal though. And she was just in front of me being like, just relax, take a deep breath, like whatever. And I'm like, well, what do we do? Like, that's all I kept thinking about is if we can't get this in, what do we do? But anyways, they ended up switching to an epidural, which I did find out is like a thicker, longer needle. So it went in easier and was able to go past whatever it was getting stuck on.
Mm-hmm. It's her. Oh. She wants to be part of her birth story. She's like, are you talking about me?
So then they ended up going into the epidural, and oh my gosh, I can't even focus when she does that. And then C-section began. So I say, hello, ma'am.
You want to bring her over here?
Yeah, I think maybe we will. You know what? Maybe I'll finish the story real quick. And then a quick pause. And then we'll bring the cry. Unless you want to grab her.
This is real life. Do you want her just like this, or you want her in the bassinet?
You can just grab her.
You finish your story. You go ahead.
Perfect. So yes. So this is chaos, right? This is why we're inspired by Chaos podcast. My C-section was phenomenal in the sense that my anesthesiologist was great. She was amazing. She had music playing by my ear, asked me what I wanted to listen to. My OB and I go way back now, 3 babies ago. So we were chatting the whole time, having such a great time. I guess we're introducing our little Chaos crew member. And here she is. She's cute. There she is. She just wants to be held. She's like, why are you leaving me over here? Auntie can hold her for a second, and then we'll switch it up. But my OB and I were making jokes and all of that good stuff. So it was a good time. And then when it was time for her to come out, because I don't know if you remember, but I didn't find out her gender. So she was the first out of all of my kids that I decided not to find the gender out. And so it was a surprise, and the way they did it was just phenomenal. Like, she pulled down, if you have a C-section, you know, you're covered with like a sheet, and they pulled it all the way down to my neck. So I literally could see her being, maybe TMI, trigger warning if you're sensitive, I don't know, pulled out of my stomach. I could see it all happening. And then as soon as she came out, they put her in front of me, and I saw she was a girl, and it was amazing. Like, it was just so amazing to see me birth her, kind of. And
it's a good experience for your last, for sure. I think. I can't hear myself right now, so hopefully
it was just such an amazing vibe. Like, everything about it, it was just so beautiful. And I couldn't have asked for like a better ending to everything. My recovery was overall really good. And there was a couple jokes made along the way because my sister-in-law couldn't figure out why I was up and moving the way that I was. But I felt good. Like, I just felt good, and I just wanted to get back to feeling normal. So yeah, overall, an amazing birth story. Auntie Sophie came to visit the day after. Yeah. And that was it. Now she's here, and she's wonderful. And her name's Ayana.
Ayana Bug.
Yeah.
Yana Bug.
Yeah.
Right? You want to say something?
Silence.
Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to talk a little bit about my leaves here. I am someone who typically does not exceed very much my 11 sick days. I do not like to take a lot of time off work. This year, my life did not care. I took a ridiculous amount of leaves this year, and for good reason. In March, my body completely shut down. We still don't know the true cause of what happened, but my body just stopped digesting food at all. I was on baby food. I was in and out of the hospital, and I tried to be at work. I was eating little bits of food and just trying to get through the day, but it got to the point where I just had no energy. I ended up getting an endoscopy. I was getting blood work. They were checking me for Crohn's disease. They were checking me for celiac disease, everything that you could think of. it boils down to it probably was just stress of doing too many things at once. And my body was just like, no more. So I ended up with a super enlarged stomach. Again, we're like talking TMI things, but I'm like, we've been away.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should address why we were away. And then I came back for 2 weeks. Also, I'm not a crier, so I likely won't cry, but Jordan's more of a crier than I am. So let's see if we can get through the next section. About 2 weeks after I came back from my sick leave, I came into work that day and I was just kind of getting back into my routine.
I was off also.
Yes, and you were off. So this year has kind of prepared me for being without Jordan next year, because I think like we were on and off working with supplies. Like there wasn't a lot of time this year that we actually overlapped in work because of our overlapping leaves, which is just like such a weird thing. Because we're used to working together all the time, like in and out of the classroom. So I came into work, I was still getting used to my routine. Jordan, I have mentioned before, we have a very special relationship with our bus driver. He drove our kids for the last 4 years. He was a wonderful, wonderful man. And I feel comfortable saying it now. He used to get us a tea or a coffee every single morning. He would go to Tim Hortons at night with his wife and his friends, and he would rack up his points. And then he would buy Jordan and I tea or coffee in the morning.
Or tea biscuits.
Yes, and tea biscuits. Yeah, he was the most generous man. If Jordan had a pregnancy craving of hot chocolate and it was on sale at No Frills, like she was getting a container of hot chocolate. So this morning I was waiting for the bus, and like he knew that I still wasn't drinking coffee because I was still coming off of that illness and whatever. So I remember thinking in my head being like, oh, like I hope he doesn't buy me a coffee today because I can't drink it yet and I don't want him to waste it, whatever. So one of the other bus drivers had come up to me and she's like, I really need to speak to you, whatever. And she let us know that Gary had passed away the night prior. And I didn't even know what to do with myself. I think I like fell on the ground. So luckily we have wonderful coworkers that stepped in, like took the bus for us. And then I ran to call Jordan because I don't think anybody understood like what a great relationship we had with this man. He was so wonderful. Knew everything about our families. We knew everything about his family, which has been really nice because we have been in touch with his family members since all of this has went down, because he was so important to us, and you know they are important to us now, knowing all the people that loved him so much. So I went and called Jordan, and that was a whole thing. We had a cry on the phone, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to get through this day?
and it like I remember when she called me, and I remember her saying it, and I was like, what? Like I couldn't even understand. And then I think we both just cried together for a few minutes, and like had to process. And I remember my husband coming down and be like, what is happening?
I know.
And I had said that he had passed away, and like my husband knew who he was.
Exactly.
Like, everybody knew who he was.
So did Bri.
So it was just like my kids, like it was such a weird thing. And I always say like I always say to Sophie, like the same thing. Like, I don't think people understand just because we're like, oh, our bus driver. And like, it doesn't seem like there'd be that connection.
It doesn't encompass the relationship that we built over 4 years, for sure.
And that's the thing, is that he was a part, excuse me, ma'am, we're talking. He was a part of our life for so long, every day.
Every day. An hour a day
every
for
day.
4 years is a very long time to spend with somebody. That's more time than you spend with like some friends,
For sure.
Which I do like consider him a friend. He was a lovely man. So I had very little time to get myself together before the kids were coming in because Jordan was on leave, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. And then about 30 minutes later, I got a text from a friend letting me know that my parents' house, I don't live there anymore, was just like ridden with ambulances. And I was like, this is the worst morning of my life. What is going on? I was still not well and not eating, but I had forced myself to go back to work because again, I had that guilt. The kids are here at this time, and I was trying really hard to keep it together. But I knew something was wrong. I wasn't hearing a lot. My boyfriend, he's a great communicator for the most part, and I wasn't hearing from him. So I knew something was wrong because he had connected with my family. Before I even get into it, I really want to thank the coworkers that stepped up, that got me out of the building, because a lot of that was a complete blur. I don't remember anything. I don't remember if I saw the kids. I don't remember what I looked like in the hallway leaving, nor did I care at the time.
I also remember getting that message saying there's apparently all these people outside of the house. And I was like, it's I'm sure it's nothing. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't even know what I thought it was. I don't know. But at that moment I was still so reeling from the last thing that happened that I hadn't quite pieced together this yet. I was like, okay, I got to get through. I remember that's what Ryan said to me. He's like, oh my God, like this is like double whammy. Let me deal with it.
Yeah.
Which is why he dealt with it. And then I got through the hallway, whatever. And like, so thankful for the staff that were there to help. So thankful for my boyfriend, my boyfriend's family, and everybody who just like made the effort to get me out of the building and get me to the hospital, where unfortunately my younger brother passed away and I did not make it. So that was really hard. I think honestly, you might've been one of the first to know because I was talking to you live through, like I was just like, we've just dealt with this. And now I remember texting you being like, I know something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like I know something's
think
wrong.
We were kind of like, I think you were kind of giving me like the step-by-step in the sense of like, we're on our way to the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on because at that point, I don't think anyone had told you anything.
No, which I'm appreciative for now. I feel like I was really in the dark until that moment, which is what I needed.
Yeah.
I remember
I think you had an idea.
I had an idea.
Yeah.
And as much as, I mean, he was 25 years old, it was very unexpected, but the way that everyone was kind of tiptoeing around me and the fact that I hadn't heard from my parents, I knew other people were stepping in to like pick the pieces up and just figure it out, which like I like am like forever grateful for because had I found out exactly, you know, what had happened, that he had passed away unexpectedly in the middle of the classroom, I don't think I would have like been okay.
No.
So anyways, that day, obviously the worst day of my life. It was like the biggest blur, but the amount of like family and friends and people who just dropped everything in their life to just show up and be there. Cause I didn't even know what I needed.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And like our best friends just showed up, bought groceries, cooked food, and just let me basically sit on the couch in shock and not move and just didn't let me lift a finger, just took care of everything. And like having you to talk to, like, it was the craziest time in my life. It's still the craziest time in my life, honestly. And so obviously after that point, there's a lot to figure out. It's just me and my brother. So now it's just me. And we had a lot of figuring out to do. My parents were in the process of selling their house anyways, but that was now made very clear that it needed to be quick. And we just had a lot to do. So I took a bunch of time off of work. I want to say about a month-ish, maybe longer. And you had gone back at one point, and that was when you went back, and we no longer had each other. And it was like I had just come back from sick leave, and then one of us was in there. So then Jordan went off, and then I came back from bereavement, and then you were off.
And I think there were times you wanted to come back. I think only because Sophie's like, I think like not even Sophie, like in general, but like I think in general when you're off or when something hard happens in your mind, you're like, let me like find something to distract so I don't have to sit in it, which like a lot of people do. And I think like most people were encouraging you to just keep as much, like take as much
just
time
like
off.
Sit and not do.
And feel and let yourself feel.
Yeah. And I think like there was a lot of stuff that needed to be figured out. Like the house needed to be figured out. The celebration of life needed to be figured out. Like just the entire thing. You don't realize how much like work and like things have to happen when somebody passes away, especially when they're so young, especially when it's unexpected. Like it's just so much. And I feel like it wasn't until after his celebration of life, which was at the end of June, close to his birthday, and after we wrapped school, I like truly believe that I didn't start grieving until then.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like power through, get everything done, and you know, celebrate him and do the things. And then once everybody else is kind of like settled and things are chill, then I felt comfortable being like, all right, well, now I'm going to hermit for 2 months. And like, luckily I have friends and family that know the boundaries and the balance. Like you guys all like come and help me when you know that I need it, but you give me the space that I need because I do think that, and like, I go to therapy and I went to therapy before this. I will go to therapy after this. And one of the things I spoke to my therapist about was that I think that there is a version of me before April 28th, and then there's a version of me after. Yeah. And I'm still learning who that is. I'm still learning what I want, what I need, how I deal with things, because I am 100% different. I don't ever think that I'll be the person that I was before, which is okay. I think grief just makes you grow and change, and it's definitely been a journey. It's been a ride, and it's one that is not done and is going to last a long time. For sure. We've hit a lot of milestones since he's been gone. His birthday, my birthday's coming up. I'm struggling with that as it is, because you feel the guilt of you want to celebrate, surviving such a difficult year with your own health issues, with loss, with whatever. But then you feel the guilt of like, well, I don't feel that I
You
want
should
to
be
celebrate,
happy. And
right?
and I think that like in itself is also like a really normal feeling.
Yeah.
But like you're allowed to, you know what I mean? You're allowed to, and like you're allowed to have happiness, like this doesn't have to define that. And I know that's easier said than done. And I know that that's going to take time.
Yeah.
And I feel like though you're doing everything that you should be doing to take steps.
Yeah.
To getting there,
Yeah. I think it's just every day is different.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of my friends, for my friends who are watching this and even my family, they'll be like, yeah, this is like how she deals with grief. Like, this is it. Right here, this is it. And like, not every day is like this. Like I have a lot of days that are horrific. There are days where I'm like, lock the door, every window's closed, and I cry from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. But then there's days where I'm like, okay, no, we're going to get up. We're going to tackle things. We're going to just do. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to like roll with the punches. Every day is different. Trying to give myself the grace to like chill out and whatever. Yeah. So as you can see, this year has been crazy for the both of us. I mean, sometimes you think about a leave and it's like, oh, maybe they're going to travel or maybe they're going to try like a new, business endeavor. It's like, no, like both of our lives were completely uprooted this year for like new life and loss. And we were just managing the best that we truly can. And the podcast is still super important to us, and we will be doing it. We'll speak about that later, but like hopefully monthly, and we're getting back on track. We just appreciate your grace and everything through this wonderful hiatus.
I know. I do want to say, and I forgot to say this back when we were back in that era section. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But side note, I remember another reason I wanted to go off. And that was, do you remember? And this was something, and I did say this to Sophie a couple times. I think I said like, especially when you wanted to come back. Yeah. There was a couple times I had said to her, I'm struggling to be here with the loss of our bus driver. And if I'm struggling this much with the loss of him, I don't know how you will come back dealing with the loss of your brother. And that was something we had talked about too. Cause one of the reasons I went off is every day. And I told Sophie this here and there, like there was things too that because I knew Sophie's loss was so close to home, there was a lot of things that like, I would still let her know how I was feeling because she's one of my best friends. So I wanted to make sure she was aware how I was feeling, like just what I was going through still. Yeah. But the bus, remember every day I was dropping off the kids on the bus, I cried. Yeah. And that was it was really hard because we didn't have staff that could just jump on the bus for us and cover. Sophie was off at that time. So
makes it difficult for sure.
So, and I remember there was a supply bus driver and I literally would, like if you're watching the video, you'll see me, but I literally would go like this, like until like the kids would get off the bus. And then once they were off, I just couldn't keep it in. And I would try and tell myself to keep it in. And I remember one of the supply bus drivers was like, what do you need? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like she's like, no. Like we all like loved him. Like, and that was one of the reasons though. I remember I was like, I like physically, mentally cannot get on that bus right now. I'm not ready to. That was one of the things that tied into my decision to being off. Yeah. But, and my
patience was like, paper thin when I first came back. And which for me, like I'd like to consider myself someone at work. Like you've heard the way we talk to the kids. It's very much like, I'm sorry you're having this feeling right now. Like, let's try this. And I remember I was quick to just be like, I remember one specific conversation, child was talking about getting in a fight with their brother and I hate him and I whatever. And I was like, don't speak about your brother like that. You love your brother. And I remember having a different reaction than I would. Usually I would be like, siblings fight sometimes and that's okay. And which is how I would normally respond. And I remember this time being like reacting differently. Yeah. And being like, okay, am I ready to be back? I don't know. And I think I took an extra day that week and just was like, you know what? I really need to 100% be sure. And I even I would be lying to you if I said I was 100% sure about being back 100% of the time in September. Yeah. Because there's a lot of change happening in September. And there's a feeling in my gut that knows I may have to take on a little bit more than I have in past years when we have really shared the load. Yeah. And there are parts of me that wonder, especially on my off days, am I ready?
Right.
And I don't know. And that's going to be something that we address down the road.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking it day by day, month by month. Like, we'll figure it out.
And that's all you can
That's
do.
all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Okay, now that we've made all of you cry or feel really terrible, we're going to talk about what is kind of next for us and like where our planning goes. I was talking about this on Instagram last week that like July we usually chill for the most part, and then August we're like crazy planning mode where we just like talk about the future, talk about what we want. We're actually almost at our year mark.
I know.
Which is so crazy. And like we put out 8 episodes this year, which is actually more than I thought. It's less like before we were like, we're going to do it bi-weekly, but then like life threw us every curveball you could imagine, truly. So putting out 8 episodes in our first year, I think is huge.
Yeah,
I think it's very good.
And
I think going forward, we were saying possibly monthly episodes would be manageable because Jordan and I won't be in the classroom together every day, but having maybe like a set day of the month, like the 20th every month or something like that, we like meet up and we do all this stuff. I think that is realistic for us at the moment.
I agree.
Pending
baby. I'm available.
Yeah, she's on that. I'll just be taking sick days and no, I'll get fired. That was a joke. For legal purposes, that's a joke.
Right. If you're watching. I think this is funny because like when we say like August is like go mode.
Yeah.
Literally yesterday morning, we were voice noting and we're like, hey, we want to do this. We want to do this. We want to do this. How do we do this? What about this? Yeah. I thought about this. Can we do this? Like,
yeah, it was back and forth. At one point I replied to Jordan and I go, hi, I've just opened the last app that you told me to open and now I'm opening something else. Can you give me 45 seconds to just like, whatever. Thank God I can split screen things because I was like,
I feel like my brain and Sophie's too, even though this moment was me doing it, like both of us have so many things we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I did for a minute be like, hey, Jordan.
It was like, I was getting whiplash, but it was good. Like it was all stuff. And I actually think we got a lot done yesterday.
You know, for sure.
We launched back to school merch yesterday. I have had some interest in personalized ones, which is really good. Yeah. So we are doing a little bit of personalized merch, which is super fun.
They're so cute.
So if you're like, it would say like Miss Campo PLP or like Miss Fine PLP or whatever.
Or grade 1 or grade 2, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, anything you want. Yeah. And then some other ones that are just cute, welcome back to school things. Yeah. We threw a couple more sweaters into our Chaos Chic collection. All of our stuff is still available. So even if you're looking to get ahead on holiday merch, or Halloween stuff, like we will be adding more every year, but all of this stuff is available at any time. Yeah. It is like a print on demand kind of style. So everything stays there and whatever you feel like purchasing is always available. Yeah. We're never going to like yank it off the site unless for some weird reason.
But for some reason.
Yes, exactly. But I think for the most part, everything will be up there. So go take a peek and shop. I have talked about this on TikTok many, many times. We worked really hard on this merch. This is not something that like even the first launch that we did when we did our fundraiser, we didn't like after wearing it and washing it, we didn't like that style. So like we have really gone tried and true. Like we like sent samples back. We like got new things. We really like trial and error. These are, I'm not wearing mine at the moment. Oops. These are like washable, wearable, oversized, comfy. Like this is something, even though I sound biased, is like I would purchase myself, and I do buy them for myself. But I'm really proud of them, and I think that you guys will love them. And the shipping can be a little pricey, but to be honest with you, I feel that it's worth it. And with the price of sweaters these days, you pay for what you get, and the quality is fantastic. Yeah. Really fantastic. No, and we're always coming up with new ideas. So.
I know. And I love them. Like everything that we've done, like they are so cute. Like they're different. They're not something you're obviously going to pick up in the store.
Yeah.
I get that there are websites that have super cheap items and clothing. Yeah. But the quality is not going to be the same. So
exactly. And also like, I'm like past the point now of like being modest and being like shy about it. Like you're supporting like technically a small business when you support us. Like we work really hard to give you quality things, but you know, we keep our day job.
Right.
want to be able to like spend extra time doing these kinds of things that we love so much. And when you guys support us through listening to the podcast, through sharing the podcast, like you don't have to spend money to support us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate every ounce of support we've gotten, even through the hiatus. Like somehow we've gained followers through the break, which felt so good to know that people still like cared when we were gone, and to see people post like I know Jazz posted, she was like, my girls are coming back. And I was like, that makes me feel so good to know that you like to listen to us yap as much as we like to listen to ourselves yap.
We just said we wanted to listen to ourselves in the car. So
I know. Sometimes I put on Spotify and I'm like, oh, Inspired by Chaos came in weird. I'll give it a listen. What's this?
Right. We just listen, I guess.
I know. So themes that we want to talk about upcoming. Obviously, we always take recommendations for themes for the podcast and like ideas. We do have something you can fill out. It's like a form you can fill out in our bio. You can find our shop there. You can also fill out the stuff that basically says like, oh, I'm having trouble with this, or I'm seeing this behavior, or I'm doing this, or suggestions for this at home. Like we are always willing to answer those kinds of things and address those kinds of themes.
Yeah.
We will be talking about the movie day.
Yes.
Next.
We will be talking about the movie day, which I'm so excited to cover because we haven't been able to. And despite everything we were both going through,
oh my God,
we showed up and I think it was phenomenal.
I know. We both like cried at the end, like because we had just like gone through so much in the previous months. And then you were having Ayanna a week to that day. Poor thing was hobbling around. I was like, at one point, I just was like, you sit at the front, and I was like sprinting. I was sweating at one point. Everyone's like, can I help you? And I was like, no, I got it. But we had, I need to shout out fantastic volunteers.
Oh my goodness.
Fantastic volunteers.
Like amazing.
We can't thank you enough. We would not have been able to do that without you. No. It was not easy work. You were grinding. Yeah. You were truly grinding for that entire time, and neither one of us had the capacity to oversee you, and you just did the initiative and you just did it. And I honestly can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. Even my best friend Al, she was like, I'll be like co-manager.
She needs to do all of our event, like just send her in for all of our
That's what
events.
she does for work. And I'm like, I'm going to need you. I like the night before I ran everything down with her, and I was like, great.
She did amazing.
Get on it.
Amazing. I'm like, I was going to her. I'm like, Al, where do I put this sign?
I know. I appreciate it. So I'm like, I think I bought her lunch after because I was like, that was a full day's work.
It was amazing.
A full day's work. Absolutely.
It was amazing. But we will talk about all the details.
I can't wait.
Like everything about it.
That's gonna be such a good episode.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Teachers Pay Teachers. We have teased this 450 times because we've wanted to do this for literally so long. And it's not that we're not doing it. We're designing things. We're making things.
Yeah.
And we finally paid for our storefront.
So that, just so you know, an example that this is not free. Like we do not
it's
when
not
when we talk about supporting us through like buying stuff.
Yeah. I don't even care if we sound thirsty at this point.
There are expenses. We do pay for things monthly.
You gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it'd be nice to make money.
We're not, we're not just asking for money to, it's really to cover our costs.
It is. And honestly, at the end of the day, like we do this for advocacy. We do this because we love our jobs, but it is nice to be able to make a little bit of a living off of it because we do work so hard. We spend so many hours doing all of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have a ton of stuff that will hopefully be up very soon. I'm super happy with the way that everything's looking and everything's feeling. Mm-hmm. And it's really nice because sometimes when people come into our class and be like, where'd you buy that folder? And I was like, well, we designed it. And they're like, do you have the file? And I'm like,
actually,
for $3, I do.
Yeah.
Because before we used to send it. Yeah. Like, yeah, test it out.
But that's the thing is that like throughout our whole school, people will ask for things that we do, whether it's like name tags or token boards or whatever that we've created. And like, yes, we try and support people as much as we can, but then we're also like,
it takes a lot of time to like create and edit something. And all the things that we make for the most part are completely from scratch.
Yep.
Like we're looking at a blank Canva screen.
Yep.
And we are like, we have an idea and it's not like we're going on and like editing, tweaking a few things. No. It's like, we're really like, we're grinding out here because we feel that we have competence and we know what works and what can be helpful for other people. So Teachers Pay Teachers is upcoming. Merch is always in the background. We are hoping to do monthly podcast episodes. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Should I tease the, I'm just going to say it. You can cut it out if you want. Jordan and I are working on an ebook. So this is like kind of like your startup go-to grab and go guide for special education because it is a dang mess to try and start this stuff from scratch.
Yeah.
And I did that a few years ago, and it was probably one of the most difficult things that I've ever done, was to walk into a classroom that had 10 typical desks with 10 typical chairs, toys that are way too small and are a choking hazard, zero visuals, and zero tasks. It was like line paper, pencils, and typical furniture. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I remember walking in there being like, what?
Yeah.
Who is learning in here?
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't believe it. So it's kind of our adaptation on like, where do you start? Where do you end? And how do you continue?
But what I also love about it is it ties in like the whole, not just like a full like guide to whatever, which it is, but like also ties in like how you should be thinking and
speaking.
Yeah. And I love that part of it, because I feel like a lot, like it can be easy for us to be like, hey, do this, do this, do this. This is how you make this. This is, but like to know how you're supposed to go into these classrooms and work with the children that we work with, I think is number one. Because if you can figure that part out, then you can do it all. You know what I mean? But like, that's such an important piece of doing what we do, and having that respect and love for these kids. Like, it's a must.
Yeah. So I feel like we have a lot on the go. We just want to keep you guys in the loop. So hopefully you guys stay in tune with all of our fantastic things. How's your drink? Good?
That was perfect. I actually was just thirsty, but that was perfect because I do want to shout out my drink.
Yes, you should. It's fantastic.
So as you know, we record now in Inspired by Studios. But we'll open up right across the hall. Can I just talk about this transition being hilarious to me? Yeah. But anyways, what opened up right across the hall is the Playhouse. And they're like it's like a play place. So they have like a little coffee shop / play place. So kids can play while you sit.
It's perfect for families.
Yeah,
it's so perfect.
I also ate a croissant, which I'm not going to lie, I get every single time I come to the studio. It's a problem.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah, it's an almond croissant with like this, I think, cinnamon filling. I don't really know.
If I wasn't allergic to almonds, I would have eaten it for sure.
It's phenomenal. It's delicious. And this is called a something sunrise.
Orange sunrise or something. Yeah.
And it is so good. So this is like my go-to. But anyways, if you have kids or you literally just want to go get a drink and the most amazing croissant, the Playhouse, it's amazing. So
even when like we were talking about getting together and doing some planning, Jordan has a herd of children. So she was like, perfect. We'll go to the Playhouse and the kids can rip around in there and we can get some work done. Yeah. It's like the perfect place. Even if you like work from home and like you have your baby at home, like it's so perfect. Yeah. From what I understand, the cafe is open like most of the time. Without like reservation or anything, but you need to like reserve to play. Yeah. But I keep peeking in and looking across and it looks busy in there.
Beautiful.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have so much on the go. We'll be spending some time at the play place to plan all that stuff. So just keep in the loop. We will keep you guys in the loop for everything that gets done. And we're going to move into some listener Q&A. I'm so excited. Alrighty. We are going to tackle some listener questions here. We did have a few because it has been a long while. So we will answer as many as I can. Firstly, this one's for me. Are you back in PLP and do you know who your partner will be? I am back in PLP next year. Jordan will be continuing her mat leave, unfortunately. Thanks, Ayanna. No, I'm just kidding. I'm more than happy to have all the anti-snuggles. I am back in PLP. I'm going to do my dang best to be there as much as I can, as long as I am, well. And I do not know who my partner will be. No. I will say that we do have a new teacher who seems fantastic, who is coming in super eager. I'm really excited to work with her. I do love sometimes a switch up in the team. Yeah. Cause it's just nice to like learn from other people. Yeah, we have said time after time that you will always learn more. You never know everything. So it's really nice to connect with other people and just switch up the vibe a little bit. Yeah. No, I do not know who's replacing Jordan, and that scares the living daylights out of me.
We did say, because I feel like last year we were hunting heavily to see if we could find
We were literally recruiting.
So the one thing I said is that like a lot of times at the beginning of the school year is when you get the really eager
for sure
supplies coming in. So, and then what usually happens is they get snatched up
Yeah.
on an LTO or something.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping to snatch one.
yeah. So we're hoping to snatch somebody up.
It's so funny though,
if you know
because
anyone.
yeah, if you know anyone, let me know. The funniest thing is like my life is actually a joke because we had one supply that was fantastic. And I was like, what are you doing next year? And she's like, well, I'm pregnant, so I'm going to be on mat leave. And I was like, of course you are. Of course. So yes, I am back in PLP and I don't know who my partner is. Keep you posted.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one we got through social media for the both of us. You can start. Your favorite strategy to calm yourself down when you feel overwhelmed.
No anymore.
You're like, I haven't been calm in years.
I don't even know what calm looks like. Oh goodness. Okay, so I feel like it doesn't happen often, but space is what I need. And
Yeah.
I'm learning that. Even like
You have so much space right now, don't you?
yeah. No, seriously.
Do you want me to move closer?
But I find like my poor kids. Like even hello. Man.
Yeah, no, here.
Look, teamwork makes the dream work. Like I think it was yesterday or the day before, she was just glued to me, didn't want to move, whatever. And I ended up like, and I get it. She's a baby. She likes that. You just, okay. Cool. Do you want to speak?
Is there something you want to say?
Cry.
Perfect.
That's
Okay.
what it's going to be.
Great.
Hold on, Mom. 1 second. Can you hear that? The mic was real close.
She's the assistant.
She just wanted to be glued to me. So I had like my wrap on and it took me all day to think like, hey, Jordan, put your wrap on. So she's just on you and you don't have to have your hands holding her. But the whole day she just didn't want to move and I was feeling super overwhelmed. And she wouldn't sleep. Like she was just, I don't know what her deal was. But then I had the wrap on me, whatever. She fell asleep and then I could finally breathe. Didn't get space. But I just felt like
least your hands
like
free,
a little
though.
break. Yeah. And then it like even like my 6-year-old, love him. I love him so much. But he loves to like just be touching you
He's
at
a
all
snuggle
times.
bug. Yeah. Mhm.
So he'll be like playing video games and I'll be on one end of the couch and he will make sure he is like sitting glued to you, like skin to skin. And so like sometimes I have to look at him and say like, can I get a little bit of space? And like
so
he'll like
cute.
move a little inch and I'm like, maybe a little more.
Yeah. I need
And
one
I
foot.
I love him, but I need that and just like a little bit of alone time. I think even when I'm going through like hard times, it's so weird because sometimes I want people
Yeah.
to be near me and to be like whatever, but then also sometimes I just want my brain to be able to turn off.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Yeah.
It's a balance.
What
I think
about
just
you?
finding
Yeah.
a balance. I was talking a little bit about this on TikTok that I basically have like a hobby bag that I keep with me all the time. And it has like my like Beats headphones. It has my coloring book. It has a book. It has crocheting stuff. And I basically just keep it like within arm's reach because if I find that I'm struggling in a moment, something in there is going to calm me down. And it's kind of like those dopamine menus that you talk about. It's like, if you're feeling this way, you go on a walk. Basically like what we make for these kids.
Yeah.
I basically have a choice board for myself
Love
in a
that.
bag where it's like something in here is going to fix this feeling in me. So let's just test them out. And if
That's so
it's
good.
too much for me right now, then I'll find something else or I'll go for a walk, take the dog out.
Yeah.
So I feel like just also being able to sit and recognize that feeling and be like, okay, I need something. I don't quite know what it is yet, but I need something.
Yeah.
And having those tools like readily available for you.
For sure.
What helped you cope during your leave? Like, do you feel like you had a hard time being off? Did you need to cope with that? Or were you feeling, I know you said you were feeling actually quite happy once you went on your leave.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think I've never done that for myself.
No.
So I think like, that's the thing is that like, it doesn't usually matter what's going on.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of the time I'm always taking care of other people and doing things for other people. And like, I think that like this year, especially with like work, like I was able to just think about me and what I needed.
Yeah.
So I think when I was off, it was like, oh, like I can get all of these things done and like
I can like do me for a bit.
prepare. Yeah. And like, oh my goodness, I can take a nap because that's what my body needs right now. And I've never been able to listen to my body, you know? So yeah, I think like coping for me during that leave was like, it was good. It was something I needed, and I'm happy I did it. Like I obviously hated, and there were little bits of guilt where like, yes, I hated leaving you, especially because of everything you were going through. So like there was a lot of like moments where I'd be like, you know, I felt bad for not being able to be there to support you and stuff like that.
We both felt that way though. It was like we were both battling with like wanting to be there for the other person, but we could be there for each other in different ways.
Yeah. And I think we still were. And I think we still talked every single day. Like there was never, you know, and asked what we needed from each other. Like that was still a thing. So, but yeah, that's, I coped well.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I coped with like, I needed routine.
Yeah.
Even though that sounds super weird because it's like, you're supposed to just sit down and do nothing. When I was home by myself, it was hard. Ryan took a week off or more with me, just to kind of be there and like take things on that I couldn't take on. Because when this all went down, I still wasn't eating. Yeah. So he was still running to the store for baby food, like trying to force me to eat things, making sure I was taking my medication. Like at one point I was on 7 medications a day just to manage to keep down the baby food and stuff. Like it was just, the last 3 months have been like a fever dream, like just like a nightmare. So having some form of routine once he was back to work, like waking up and like, you know, maybe going outside for a walk for like an hour and then coming home and making breakfast. And oh my God, gardening. Yeah, I've never been like a gardener in my life, but my brother, he catered Italian food and he was really big into like making homemade sauce and things like that. So I started this like huge tomato garden, which we honored at his celebration of life. I had his logo on like tomato seed packets to encourage people to grow them and make sauce with them and do whatever. And my garden has been like my saving grace. Every single morning, it gives me a reason to get out of bed, to go down, look and see what's grown today and what do we have here, and like water them and nurture something and take care of something. Because that is truly like what my soul craves to do, is like take care of people. So when I didn't have the kids to take care of, I was like, I'm gonna take care of these plants so well. I feel like I just needed something like that. I know it sounds weird, but it's weird what grief will do to you. I think we're gonna do one more, and we'll do this one. How has motherhood or loss changed your professional approach? Adding a 4th baby in the mix, has that changed anything for you?
I don't think so. I think like for the most part, like, are we talking work?
Yeah.
Like, how does it change? Yeah. Remember, I don't see these things ahead of time.
No, she doesn't see anything.
Sophie said, do you want me to send it? I'm like,
she's like, no. I was like, all right, sure. Why not? Why not?
Do it, lady.
Do it, lady.
I say that way too much.
All of it. On your birthday.
All of it.
If I don't get that text from you in 2 weeks on my birthday, if I don't get that text from you on my birthday, I just want like 12:01 a.m. Do lady. That's what I want.
Do it, lady.
What's his name? Chit.
Oh yeah, Chit. Shout out to Chit.
Do lady.
Anyways, if you haven't watched those skits, please go do it because they're hilarious. We'll take them somewhere. Anyways,
that's too
so
good.
Having kids, I've always been, even before her, like I've always tried to keep my parent, like how I parent, different than how I am as an educator. Yeah. And I don't think that means I'm less than in either avenue. I just think, and there are some things that I definitely take from how I work at the board or with the school, home with me. But I know obviously with your own kids, it's a little bit different. Your approach is going to be a little bit different. And so I don't think that's really changed. I think, a little more chaos in my day.
You probably need more balance now.
Yes.
Like you need to know when to like disconnect from work and just like drive it home at home. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Like maybe, I don't know. We'll see how we'll find out in a year. Stay tuned.
I don't know. It's not working out great right now because I just keep thinking about all the things. And also I'm like, okay, we need to go back in August to set up the classroom.
I'm like, you don't actually work here right now. Get out.
I'll be there.
Yeah. The new teacher's like, oh, that's odd. I'm like, it is odd. It's not typical of anybody else. Just
People don't want to go set up when they are going in September.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, well.
I did gut that classroom though. So hopefully when you come back,
Fresh start.
it's still, I was throwing out everything.
That's good.
It was the purge in there.
Good.
For sure.
Good. Ayanna and I will be there end of August to help set up for September.
Great. Can't wait, girl. She's chilling now.
Oh, she's sleeping. I think she's
We
sleeping.
need to get her a little sweater.
I know.
We should get her little headphones.
Oh, how cute.
We should have done
I
that.
know. We failed.
Too late. What was
what
the
about you?
question? Oh, how has loss changed your professional approach? I have to be way more in tune with myself than I ever have been.
Mhm.
I think there was a lot of just moving through my day before pretty unbothered, but now there are moments in my day where like the stupidest thing will trigger me, or I just sit for a second and unfortunately like the intrusive thoughts come in and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Like there was actually one day that I left work and I don't think I've ever done that. I spent the whole morning just like fighting back tears and I was like, what am I doing here? Like we get leave for a reason and I'm clearly not okay to be here. So I think it has changed my approach in the fact that like it's actually okay to not be fine and to take the time off and to do what you need. If this year has taught me anything, it's listen to yourself, like listen to your body, listen to your gut, listen to your head. Like if you are not 100%, my goal is always to be 150% for those kids. And if I can't give 150%, then I'm not going to be there because it's no good for me. It's no good for them. And I know I just want to be my best, most calm, most regulated self, because if I'm not regulated, they're not going to be regulated.
No. And I think you struggled a little more with like staying off this year just because of the grad. I think that was a big piece.
Yes. Oh
I
my
think
God.
that was big. We had so many kids graduating.
We had 5 graduates and they were the kids that we opened this program with 4 years ago. So like I've seen these kids like essentially grow up for like half of their public school life.
Yeah.
And I think if we didn't have such a huge connection with these kids, I would have been like, see ya. As soon as my brother passed away, I think I would have just like, here's my letter.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But you're right. I did fight it hard to be there for them.
Yeah.
Which I don't regret now. I was happy to be there, but it was not easy. And I think it very easily could have taken more time off.
Right.
And, but again, at that point, I feel like I hadn't even processed. I was still like in the twilight zone, really. But oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging around, for being here, for just, I don't know, sticking with us, I guess. We're so grateful to be back and to be able to share all of this with you again. And whether you're here for the chaos or the heart or just the spec ed stories, we have so much more that's coming your way. So stay inspired by the chaos. And Jordan, where can we find you on social media?
Either at Jordan Fine Photography or Inspired by Studios. Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
What about you?
You can find me at Inclusive Inspirations on Instagram. That's my spec ed account. Or you can find us at Inspired by Chaos Pod. If you go to Inspired by Chaos Pod, you go in the link in our bio. You can find all of our merch. You can find all the Q&As. You can find everything. Feel free to DM us at any time. We are so thankful for you. Thanks for watching and listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.